There's an Olympian in the ballroom tonight. That means at Michael's 8th Avenue, it is time for the latest edition of Ballroom Boxing. Hi, everybody. I'm Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. It is Clarence Vinson with his second trip into the ballroom tonight in the main event. You know, John, he wants to be a contender one day. Some contenders have the luxury of being able to lose a fight or two and still get a title shot, but as an Olympic medal winner, Vinson cannot afford to lose.
No question, Larry. Clarence Vinson has a lot of pressure on him, a lot of expectations coming out of the Olympics. He's being groomed to be a champion. His management feels that he's about a year and a half away from even getting a title shot. They need to step up the competition, and hopefully tonight will be a bigger and better test for Clarence Vinson.
Well, we're going to see Jason Adams is the opponent for Clarence Vinson tonight. Adams is on a bit of a roll, John. What do you know about Jason Adams?
Well, we don't know a whole lot about Jason Adams, mostly because he's never fought out of Canada. So he's really an unknown quantity down here in the States, but he hasn't lost since 2000. He's on a bit of a roll, but the most interesting thing about him is the way he looks, and we'll save that for the fight.
He is known as the Troll. He is against Clarence Vinson in the main event. This is our final event of the season. Back with Ballroom Boxing. Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota, by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By Michael's 8th Avenue, a host of grand occasions. By BallroomBoxing.com for the latest in ballroom boxing action and upcoming live events and season tickets. Well, we're back with more Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Last time we saw Yuri Foreman in the ballroom, he got knocked down in the first round. He's unbeaten still, however. John Scheinman, what do you think about this fight?
Yuri Foreman had a tremendous fight knocking off Giorgio Armenta here in the ballroom. Armenta was one of the top prospects coming out of the Maryland area. It was a great fight. Corleone is a very tested veteran. We're expecting a brawl in here tonight.
Yuri Foreman and Michael Corleone, who John would like to make Foreman an offer he can't refuse tonight.
I like that. Two tough guys from Brooklyn. Let's see what happens.
We'll be back after a short timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Now let's go to Pat O'Malley for the introduction of the fighters.
Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the Italian colors of red, white, and green, weighing 153 and a half pounds. He is from North Belmore via Long Island, New York, with a record of 11, 17 and 3, 2 via the KO. Please welcome, if you will, Michael Corleone. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing solid black, weighing 150 and a half pounds. He is from Brooklyn, New York, via Israel, with a record of 4-0, 2 via the KO. Please welcome Yuri Foreman.
Yuri Foreman and Michael Corleone know each other from the streets back home. John, take a look at the matchup.
Well, Yuri Foreman has youth, speed, and basically size in his corner against Michael Corleone. A lot to overcome from the guy from New York.
Well, you know, Yuri Foreman, last time we saw him here, Giorgio Armenta knocked him down in the first round. Listen to Kenny Chevalier. Giorgio Armenta knocked him down in the first round last time they fought here in the ballroom. That fight was back in March of this year. And really what happened in that one, you know, you looked at Giorgio Armenta, that fight, did he let him off the hook early, John?
Well, he got back into it, made a fight out of it. Giorgio Armenta was one of our young, hot prospects here. It was a stunning loss for him, but, you know, fighting Yuri Foreman, a very talented guy, even though he's only 20 years old, bit off a little bit more than he could chew that night, I think, Larry.
Well, Foreman's got the polished amateur style. You see him right there in the black trunks. And Michael Corleone, no question, whether his name might sound familiar, his record, good straight punch set him down. Punch slip, but I think he got tagged as well.
He got hit, and I hope Corleone brought his violin case tonight because he's going to need it.
Corleone 11-17 and 3 with 2 wins by knockout. So this looks like a Yuri Foreman fight.
Well, you could
on the face.
Yeah, you could see the speed difference in Yuri Foreman. Much quicker, much more talented, polished fighter than Michael Corleone. Corleone's got to find a way to get inside and muscle Yuri Foreman.
Good left hand by Yuri Foreman. Tags him. Corleone visions himself as a tough guy, coming in with some confidence after a win over Lee Lopez in his last fight. Right-left combination by Foreman.
Already some swelling along the right side of Corleone's face. A little bit of redness. He's getting tagged here pretty good in the first round.
Yuri Foreman, young kid from Israel. Actually by way of Russia, I believe.
Yes, he was born in the Soviet Union, the old Soviet Union. We want to talk about tough. Yuri Foreman's Jewish. He trained with Arabs. So you can imagine some of the scraps in the gym. But they respected him because once he showed he could beat him, I mean, you know, he earned his respect, came to the United States because there really wasn't enough good training in Israel.
Corleone ducks the right hand of Foreman. See, Corleone has that right hand right on his chin. See it right there. Strictly on defense. Just 2 knockouts in his history out of his 11 wins, Michael Corleone. Last time he was knocked out was in May of 2001. Has lost 4 of his last 5, though coming off a win. Nice jab by Corleone. Good counter by Foreman. I mean, Corleone's face is wide open, John.
Well, Foreman's rushing a little bit here. He's so anxious to hit Corleone, I think, knock him out, that he's not just jabbing his way in. He's looking to just throw a home run punch and get him out of there. He's doing a pretty good job of it.
Corleone stunned by those shots. You saw him kind of regroup. Foreman let him off the hook. Corleone, though, up against the ropes. Needs some distance here. Not going to beat Foreman. He's not even going to survive up against the ropes.
Well, he's not going to win on the outside either. He's not going to outbox Yuri Foreman. There's no way that's going to happen.
Corleone's mouth is wide open. Good left hand. Tags Corleone. Yuri Foreman right on top of him. Corleone battles back. The end of an exciting first round for Michael Corleone and Yuri Foreman. Welcome back to the ballroom. Action from round 1. Yuri Foreman on the left. Did a great job in the first round. That kind of was a slip.
That was a slip.
Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Toyota. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Great to be with you for this season-ending edition. We'll be back with you in the fall. In the ring right now, Yuri Foreman and Michael Corleone. Corleone in the red, green, and white trunks.
That was a big round for Yuri Foreman. But I like to, he wants to make this a short night.
Ken Chevalier steps in to stop the fight. He's giving him a standing 8 count.
Kenny Chevalier doesn't take guff in the ring. I'm surprised.
Corleone thought he was in good shape right there. This little macho coming out. We'll see how this fight ends up. See, Corleone's got his hands up high, trying to protect himself. Yuri Foreman just too slick.
Well, this is not a fight of survival for Corleone. He's loading up. He's just trying to get lucky, basically, Larry, and land something on Foreman's chin. That's the only way he could possibly win this fight.
Boy, big right hand lands by Foreman. Corleone hurt by that. Still there, though, still in front of him. This guy is tough, that's for sure. He throws his punches, though, John, and his head is wide open.
Foreman's fighting this guy like this is a real Brooklyn thing here. He really is.
Double jab by Foreman, drops the right hand. Corleone.
Oh, that hurt.
Now he's going to run.
Yeah. Those shots really hurt Corleone. And now you see his mouth opening up. I don't know how much more of this he can take if Foreman starts opening into the body.
Got to start punching back. Stunning right hand by Yuri Foreman.
This fight may be stopped soon.
Corleone is hurt. Still there, though. Kenny Chevalier right on top of the action. Corleone blocks the right hand by Foreman. Corleone goes to a knee, and Kenny Chevalier says, that's it, no more of this. That's a good stoppage. Crowd doesn't like it, but what could Kenny Chevalier do?
Yeah, it was apparent what was going to happen, and I think Corleone would have got hurt because Foreman was really opening up. Corleone had no defense, very little offense, and Yuri Foreman with that great combination punching and the speed of those punches. Corleone, not the kind of fighter in the same kind of class as Yuri Foreman to be able to deal with that kind of punch.
John, first question for you here right now is what good does a fight like that do Yuri Foreman?
Probably keeps him busy, keeps him, you know, in the gym, looking forward to another fight. Obviously, Corleone not in Yuri Foreman's class.
another notch in his belt, and you know, you go on from here.
Taking a look at how this fight ended, and again, what could Kenny Chevalier do? He was right on top of the action. He almost stopped it 30 seconds earlier, where Michael Corleone was offering no defense whatsoever.
Well, Foreman just teeing off on Corleone. You see him having pinned up against the ring ropes, and Corleone offering no defense or offense whatsoever. Good straight left hand on the inside. His knees buckled several times during the fight.
See, he had his mouth open, John. I think he might have a hurt jaw. He was kind of working his jaw during the second round of the fight.
Well, I think Foreman hurt him several times in that fight. It was just going to be a matter of time. I think it was a good stoppage by Ken Chevalier.
So Yuri Foreman victorious here tonight in the ballroom. He remains unbeaten. Got to look for in the future. We'll be back with an interview with the winner right after this. All right, before we hear from Yuri Foreman, let's hear from Pat O'Malley.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 140 of round 2, Yuri Foreman.
Yuri Foreman, the winner, and as he gets set to talk to Jon Scheinman, John, you see a young guy like this, 20 years old, obviously has a lot of tools, a good amateur background, well managed. This is a kid maybe at the age of 23, 24. You might be looking at a kid that could be in the top 10.
Well, he's young. I mean, he's a very young fighter, 20 years old. He's got a lot to learn, but he's off to a terrific start. He's got very good people behind him, Lou Dibella. So, you know, he's got experienced hands. They're going to move him properly, not too fast. Obviously, tonight was a very slow speed for Yuri Foreman. We figured Michael Corleone wasn't really going to put up much of a fight. He did the best he could.
All right, let's go to Jon Scheinman with the winner, Yuri Foreman.
Yuri, last time you were in the ballroom, an extremely tough fight against Georgie Armenta. Tonight, you dominated Michael Corleone. Tell us a little bit about your fight.
Well, I tell you one thing, Michael Corleone is a tough guy. He want to continue, and I know his record, he got over 30 fights. Well, I was well prepared, and I had great corner, Mike. You know, I'm ready, you know.
Had you ever faced him in the gym before? You're both from New York?
Yeah, we're both from New York, but I never actually, no, I never saw him there.
Working behind the jab tonight, set everything up. Really no problems, though, even though he was game.
Yes, I got power, you know, I'm strong. That's it.
Yuri Foreman remaining undefeated with a pronounced victory tonight in the ballroom against Michael Corleone. Let's go back to ringside to Larry and John.
And quite a pronounced interview from Jon Scheinman as well. Yuri Foreman 5-0, his third win by knockout. More ballroom boxing coming up in a moment. Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. It's going to be Johnny Boy Vargas against David Dawson next. Last time we saw Johnny Boy Vargas here, his manager, Dennis Rappaport, said, "We did not see the real Johnny Boy Vargas that night." Jon Scheinman is the real Johnny Boy Vargas here tonight.
Well, Dennis Rappaport was extolling the virtues of Vargas so much before that last fight. You almost couldn't help but have a letdown. He turned in a very workmanlike performance. Again, Rappaport with less gusto promised a lot better outing this time. He has been Vargas has been sparring with big guys. He's been stopping men in the gym. We're expecting explosive performance, and Dawson, who has shown this week to be a very volatile character, really might turn the heat up early. I think this could be action from the get-go, Larry.
All right, John, you know, Jon Saraceno, you know, it's good to see Johnny Boy Vargas back. Rappaport last time out said, you know, we talked the talk, we didn't walk the walk, so we're back tonight.
Well, he's an excellent super middleweight prospect. Rappaport realizes this guy could be moved properly. He can be a contender. He's fighting a guy tonight who hasn't fought in 2 years, so he ought to look impressive.
We'll wait and see. Pat O'Malley now with the introductions.
Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black trunks with white trim, weighing 169 pounds. He hails from the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., with a record of 13-5, 9 via the KO. Please welcome David Red Dog Dawson. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the sky blue with navy trim trunks. He weighs in at 167¼ pounds. From the Bronx in New York, he's the former New York Golden Gloves champion. Now professionally with a record of 9-0, 4 via the KO. Please welcome Johnny Boy Vargas.
Vargas and Dawson in the ballroom. Jon Saraceno with a look at the matchup.
Well, size perspective, David Dawson really more of a natural light heavyweight than he is a super middleweight. The most important number that you don't see, Larry, and that's Dawson has not fought since 2000.
That could be a little bit of ring rust on the Red Dog, David Dawson. And Johnny Boy Vargas, I think, shows some confidence for sure coming back to the ballroom. His first fight since his last fight on his record, which is here in the ballroom. We talked about it. His manager, Dennis Rappaport, had talked a lot of smack before that fight. Vargas was extended somewhat by Sam Reese. Let's see what he does here tonight. Good left hand by Dawson.
You know that he's going to want to be impressive. He knows this is going on television. He's got to make good on the last one.
John Vargas has a great amateur background. Vargas in the blue trunks, in the black and white trunks, it is Dennis Dawson. Excuse me, David Dawson. John, is it too soon to get a guy back in the ring here? He was extended by Sam Reese last time. Talking about John Boy Vargas. That was less than 2 months ago.
No, I think just the opposite, actually. You've got to keep him busy, get his confidence back. The worst thing for a young fighter is inactivity. Too often they lay off between fights. You got to get him back in there under fight conditions.
Vargas doing a lot of moving, good combination, left-right combination again, goes low with the left hand.
Good
and
warning.
Bill Holmes steps in appropriately to give the warning.
But good body punching by Vargas, and that's what he's got to do. Get Dawson to lower those hands.
A little bit of blood from the mouth, David Dawson. Already in this fight, John Vargas scoring a couple nice combinations.
Well, Vargas is having his way early in this fight. Oh, what a right hand by Vargas.
Beautiful right hand. Dawson trying to hang in.
Oh.
Nice combination. Vargas head hunting. Dawson eats another right and another right, but still stands in front of Vargas. Needs to punch back a little bit.
Dawson has a terrific chin.
Vargas laying everything out right now, and this fight is over. Bill Holmes stops it before the end of round one.
Well, Dawson is really upset with referee Bill Holmes of the Maryland Commission. He's got a little cut under his left eye. He was getting hit flush with bombs, Larry, and shaking them all off.
I'll be honest with you, John. I don't know what Dawson should be upset about, because Johnny Boy Vargas threw, I would say, 20 unanswered punches in that last flurry. What more do you need to see before you stop a fight?
And not only unanswered punches, they were detonated on Dawson's head and chin. I mean, he was hitting him flush with combinations, and Dawson could do nothing about it. No defense at all. Here you see Johnny Boy Vargas.
Good body shot there.
And that's where it all started, was that good body punching.
Another left hand, another right hand. That's 10 punches, 11, 12, 13 to the body, 14 to the body.
The real action hasn't started. Watch when he pins him up against the ropes here.
15, 16 to the body. Can't even see it right now. Bill Holmes doing the right thing. Doing the right thing. Good stoppage by Bill Holmes. And that, I guess, according to Dennis Rappaport, is the real Johnny Boy Vargas. Let's make this one official with Pat O'Malley. Patrick, take it away.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by KO at 150 of round one, Johnny Boy Vargas.
Crowd lukewarm with their acceptance of that decision, but what more do you want to see? 20 to 25 unanswered punches, man up against the ropes. Clearly, John Vargas outclassed David Dawson tonight.
Well, Dawson didn't belong in the same ring with him. Let's face it, Rappaport got a fighter in there whom he knew his fighter Vargas was going to overwhelm. He wants to make it look good. He wants to erase the stigma of the last fight where he didn't look good on the Ballroom series. He got what he wanted.
Going to hear from Johnny Boy Vargas in a moment when Ballroom Boxing continues. Johnny Boy Vargas victorious in the Ballroom tonight. Let's take a look how it ended before we hear from the...
John Boy Vargas, big statement tonight in the Ballroom. Let's go back to Larry and John.
Good fight, good performance. Keep your eye on Johnny Boy Vargas in the future. Unbeaten, 10-0. Back with more Ballroom Boxing in just a moment. Welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Before we get these heavyweights started, John, maybe the biggest crowd we've ever seen in the Ballroom tonight.
Well, we average probably 1,500 fans per fight, and tonight's got to be there or bigger. I mean, there's no seats left in the house.
It's the final fight of the season, and they're hanging off the chandeliers here in the Ballroom. In the ring right now, Jed Phipps and Bryce Campbell, two heavyweights, and John Scheinman. They tell us that Phipps reminds some of Tommy Morrison. What does that mean?
Larry, this guy is known as a raw bone slugger, raw power puncher. Jed Phipps. Scott Wagner is very high on him. If people who watched the Ballroom a long time ago might remember a fighter named Garth Hedger, who was groomed along here, big, tough heavyweight, and this guy is cut in the same mold. He's got a lot to learn. He's got a lot of power. We're going to see what he does tonight with Bryce Campbell.
You know, Jon Saraceno, muscles and size don't necessarily make for a good fight.
No, you can get a lot of bouncers and stick them in the ring. You're not going to win any rounds.
We'll be back after a short timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Now let's go to Pat O'Malley for the introduction of the fighters.
Now let's get ready for more Ballroom Boxing. The referee in charge of this 4-round bout in the heavyweight division is Gary Campaneschi. The judges at ringside, Kenny Chevalier, John Gradowski, and Malik Waleed. Your scorekeeper is Bill Holmes. Introducing the boxers. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the black and gold trunks, weighing 209.25 pounds, from Washington, D.C., with a record of 0-2. Please welcome Bryce Campbell. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the silver trunks with black trim. He weighs in at 220.25 pounds. He is from Baltimore, Maryland, with a record of 1-0. Please welcome Jed Phipps.
Phipps, a powerfully built heavyweight. Jon Saraceno, how about the matchup? Phipps and Campbell tonight.
And Phipps, the bigger heavyweight. You see the weight, size differential. Jed Phipps, 12 years younger than Bryce Campbell. But once again, it's the number you don't see that matters more. Bryce Campbell, Larry, has not fought in almost 5 years.
Phipps has an amateur record, had an amateur record of 40-5, a married father of a girl. Jed Phipps, a pro boxer right now. Biggest influence, Evander Holyfield, when Hasim Rahman won the title from Lennox Lewis. So we'll see if Jed Phipps has the goods here tonight in the Ballroom. Ballroom Boxing, as always, brought to you by Toyota and by Budweiser. You take a look at the two guys here. You see the size differential. In terms of musculature, Phipps a very big guy. Straight right hand by Phipps. Body shot. I mean, Campbell's been out for 5 years. That might be the way to go. Clubbing right hand by Campbell.
Phipps better remember to get that left hand up. He's dropping it very low.
And there's been a lot of young guys who come in with the good amateur record and a good physique. And Gary Campaneschi warning Campbell not to hit on the break. Campbell throwing his head down low like that. Maybe he's a little bit intimidated, John, by Phipps's physique.
No, you know what I think it is? It's rustiness. It's timing. You could see Campbell has not fought in 5 years. The timing's not there. You just don't get that back overnight. I don't know how long he's been in the gym getting ready for this fight, but that takes a lot of time. He doesn't look scared, or he looks like he wants to mix it up, actually.
Big left hand backs Campbell up. Campbell's left footwork a little off as a result of that left hand.
Well, it doesn't look like he has his legs at all underneath him.
Now that left hand, John, took his legs out from underneath him.
Good straight right hand by Jed Phipps.
Good body shot, digging into the body. Jed Phipps out of nearby Baltimore, Maryland. Went to Carver High School in Towson, Maryland, in fact. 24 years old, good-looking prospect here in the Ballroom.
Well, Campbell's mouth already hanging open. He's breathing heavy here in the first round. He gets hit with another right hand and another.
Body shot by Phipps. Campbell needs to hold on right now. It's target practice right now for Jed Phipps.
All right, break. Let him go, break.
Bryce Campbell trying to make it into round 2. Nice straight right hand. Campbell once again back up against the ropes.
He's going to be on our lap in a minute.
Trying to hold on and keep himself in the ring. I think maybe Jed Phipps heard you there, Jon, and backed up a little bit.
Thanks, Jeb.
Campbell in the corner has got to get out of there. Give him credit for surviving round 1.
When you got a guy throwing haymakers like Phipps is right now, that's not an easy thing to do when you haven't been an active fighter. And you see Campbell initiating a lot of clinches here in the first round. He's just trying to survive this first 3 minutes.
Well, if he does, kind of assuming that he will, a little bit of blood from the nose of Campbell, and a warning for the low blow to Jed Phipps.
If I'm Phipps, I go right back down to the body. You see how slow and ponderous Campbell is with his punches.
Campbell eats a right hand and a body shot with the right hand. Will he survive the first round? Phipps trying to take him out here. Campbell up against the ropes, taking some serious punishment. Campanishi has to step in, no doubt about it. Another good stoppage. Crowd on their feet. But Jed Phipps closes it out at the bell of round 1. We knew Phipps might have a little too much firepower going into this fight for Bryce Campbell, and we were right. Would have been nice to see Jed Phipps go a couple rounds, see if he could maintain that power through 6 to 9 minutes.
Well, I thought Campbell was going to escape that round because Phipps was kind of letting him off the hook there a little bit. He wasn't applying quite enough pressure, but then when he saw he backed him up against the ropes and he heard him, Phipps saw he had a chance to really get Campbell out of there, and he poured it on at the end. And there's you're seeing at the end of the first round here, you see Campbell really utterly defenseless. Campanishi jumping in, stopping the fight just before the bell sounded to the end of the first round.
Good stoppage by Gary Campanishi, really, you know, and Campbell totally defenseless. His mistake was to get up against the ropes, but he really didn't have any way of getting away. He didn't have an offensive game to be able to escape the power of Phipps.
Well, when you haven't been active as a fighter, Larry, and then we're looking at the loser right there, Campbell, and you haven't fought in 5 years, it's very hard to come back into a ring under competitive circumstances against a young, hungry heavyweight who's being groomed as a puncher and do very well. And that's what we saw tonight. Here we look at action again in that first round. I mean, Phipps was all offense, and really, Campbell had nothing to even, you know, keep Phipps off of him. All he could do is keep backing up and retreating, trying to cover up. And in the end, Campanishi's going to jump in here and stop the fight, and it was a good stoppage because Campbell was basically defenseless.
Phipps showed a variety of punches in that knockout. Went to the body, scored with the left and right hand, and I'm sure we're going to see him in the ballroom again.
Well, fight fans always like to see heavyweights, particularly heavyweights who can punch hard. Obviously tonight he didn't have a lot in front of him, but Phipps did what he had to do. He got the guy out in the first round.
The TKO comes in the closing seconds of the first round. Let's get to Pat O'Malley now with the official time on this decision.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 2:59 of round 1, Jed Phipps.
Jed Phipps, the winner here in the ballroom. We'll be back with more ballroom boxing in just a moment. All right, welcome back to the ballroom. Let's take a look at how this heavyweight fight ended as Jed Phipps made the end come late in the first round. We really thought that Bryce Campbell would last the round.
Yeah. Phipps really wasn't applying a whole lot of pressure. I mean, he was applying it, but not steadily and not hard enough. But then suddenly near the end of that first round, he got Campbell hurt, and he really rushed him and was able to stop him at the end of that first round, as Gary Campanishi will come in a moment here and save Campbell from further damage. That punch missed, but plenty of other ones landed. And you see how defenseless Campbell is against Jed Phipps.
Now that last right hand was the one that made Gary Campanishi step in. The winner, Phipps, standing by with Jon Scheinman.
You said earlier before the fight that you didn't like to face southpaws, but you never let Bryce Campbell even get into this fight. Tell us about it.
Well, basically my trainer wanted me to get the 4 rounds in and go home because he knows I don't like the southpaws. But, you know, I'm in there getting hit. Natural reaction is going to say fight. You know, I'm a fighter. I'm a brawler. I threw a couple wide punches, I noticed, but that comes with the southpaw for some reason with me.
Seemed like the body work was what really took him apart.
Yeah, the ref was saying I hit 3 low. They were right on the money. Oh well, but they were on the money.
Yeah, it looked like a clean shot to me. Tell me what it's like for you to fight in front of a hometown crowd like this. It's got to get you pumped up here in the ballroom.
Yeah, I have a lot to live up to by myself, you know, and then I have all these people here cheering. It means, you know, this is a promotional part for me. All these people talk. That's how I promote, you know.
Jed Phipps also letting his fist do the talking. Tremendous first-round knockout. Let's go back to ringside to Larry and John.
Good young prospect, Jed Phipps. Hope to see him in the ballroom again soon. More ballroom boxing coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Before we introduce our next fight, no need for introduction for our friend Lou Duva. How you doing tonight, big fella?
Oh, I'm great. I'm enjoying myself here.
Luva, you're such a star everywhere you go. The people at the ballroom, are they treating you right?
They love me here, baby. They love me, and I love them.
Did you bring any fighters?
No.
Hey, Lou, you know, we're sitting here reminiscing, and Riddick Big Daddy Bo is in the house tonight, the former world champion, and that just brings me to the craziest fight I ever did, and unfortunately, you were taken out of that fight in a stretcher. You remember that night?
That's right. When they clocked me with a cell phone on my head, they carried me out of there. I was more concerned about on that gurney there. That was more dangerous than the fight. I just put me back in the fight.
It was a fight between Riddick Bowe and Andrew Galata, and of course, it turned out to be a riot in Madison Square Garden tonight. What do you love most about the ballroom here in Glen Burnie?
I love the people. The fight fans are just fantastic. No matter where. Let me tell you something. Las Vegas, Atlantic City, the casinos, making it a match. The fans on here. These fans are real natural fans. They know each other. They holler like hell all over the place. They holler for their favorites or underdogs. It's a terrific operation. Scott Wagner does a great job.
We love you, Lou Duva, and tonight's fight in the ring coming up, light heavyweights, the Dingling man, Darnell Wilson, against Dennis McKinney. You know, McKinney has traveled the globe as an opponent, Jon Saraceno. Probably the Dingling's man's biggest test here.
Well, you know what? Dingling doesn't have enough experience right now, so anybody's dangerous. And Scott Wagner, the promoter and matchmaking, the kind of guys he gets, he digs up guys with records who aren't that good that will surprise you. So Darnell Wilson has to be ready to fight this guy tonight, even though he has a losing record.
Lou, you might not be up on these fighters, but we got a young guy who's a prospect going up against a veteran. That's always dangerous, isn't it?
Absolutely, because you never know what's going to happen to the guy, if he's going to fall apart once that their veteran starts banging away at him.
Let's go up to the ring and John Scheinman to take a look at this fight tonight. The Dingling man on his way to the ring right now, Jon Scheinman. He is certainly a crowd favorite in the ballroom.
Well, this is the hardest hitting fighter right now, Larry, in the entire Mid-Atlantic region. Tremendous one-punch knockout power that you just cannot teach in the gym. But I agree with you guys. Even though McKinney's record is 16-23-1, in those 40 fights, he has only been stopped 3 times. And this guy is not just a survivor, he's a very tough customer. And with Darnell Wilson still learning the skills of the game, he's going to have to really be about his best performance tonight to win this fight.
Well, Dennis McKinney has been a veteran professional boxer. 1997, he got his start. As I said, he's been all over the world, fought Julian Lederlaw, has been overseas, fought in Denmark. Of course, he makes his home in South Carolina right now. There is the Dingling man looking to continue the streak. He is 7-1-1, and the last 6 victories have all come by way of knockout. We'll be back after a short timeout.
It's time now for more ballroom boxing. The referee in charge of the 6th-round bout in the cruiserweight division is Bill Holmes. Judging the bout, Gary Campaneschi, Kenny Chevalier, and John Gradowski. Your scorekeeper is Malik Wali. Introducing the boxers, first to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing red, white, and blue, weighing 187¼ pounds. He hails from Columbia, South Carolina, and has a record of 16-23-1, 8 KOs. Please welcome Dennis Fist of Fury McKinney. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the solid black trunks. He tips the scales at 181 3/4 pounds. From Silver Spring, Maryland, his record, 7-1-1, 7 via the KO. Please welcome Darnell, the Ding-a-ling Man Wilson.
Well, there you have it. This fight is ready to get started. And Jon Saraceno, how about that matchup?
A Ding-a-ling Man against Fists of Fury, Dennis McKinney out of South Carolina. Dennis McKinney, the taller fighter. Darnell Wilson's got to find a way to get that compact 5'10" frame on the inside and do so safely.
This fight too quick for Darnell Wilson, too early in his development to take on a veteran like Dennis McKinney.
I think it's a good fight for him. He's got to learn to fight guys like this. You got to fight all kinds of guys, and he should be able to be competitive with a guy with McKinney's record, but we'll see if Darnell Wilson's real.
Some of the guys on McKinney's record include Julian Letterlow, a contender as a cruiserweight, went 8 rounds, lost the decision there. Lou Del Val beat McKinney by 8-round decision. And what is Lou Del Val's claim to fame?
He fought
I got you on this
Virgil
one.
Hill. Roy Jones.
Roy Jones. Lou, and what did he do to Roy Jones?
That's right. He had him on the floor.
Knocked him down. Only man to ever knock down Roy Jones was Lou Del Val. Of course, he beat McKinney. We're reaching back for a connection here to something. The key right now is the Ding-a-ling Man, Lou Duva. Good-looking kid, pretty well built, packs of power.
Well, I think what Ding-a-ling's doing right now, he's fighting experience. That's what he's fighting.
And you could see McKinney knows how to box and fight.
Yep.
So Wilson's in deep here, even though he's in with a guy whose record you would almost laugh at or scoff at.
It's a tough fight for the Ding-a-ling Man. Won 6 fights by knockout.
When you come to a fight like this here, records don't win or lose a fight. And styles is what does it. And this guy's got one style that really take you to the limit for sure.
Right, because he's got a good jab, Lou, and I don't think Darnell's faced anybody with this kind of a jab who box. I mean, he's backing Darnell Wilson up here in the first minute of the fight.
Oh. Well, there you go. Dennis McKinney leveled by the Ding-a-ling Man. Just as soon as you say it, the power comes through.
Wow, he shocked all of us, but mostly Dennis McKinney.
That's right.
Biding his time, put him right down.
It shouldn't have shocked us because Darnell Wilson has shown that kind of power.
Wow, comes in with another combination. He's got quick hand speed too, Lou Duva.
Absolutely.
Almost reminds you of a young Mike Tyson.
That's right, when he was like 18, 19 years old.
Still really raw, but a lot of power and fast hands, right, Lou?
Absolutely.
You can see Ding-a-ling Man, Darnell Wilson in the black trunks, not going off too quick. Good left-hand counter by McKinney.
But Lou, what should he be doing right here after the knockdown? Should he now try to set him up, or should he put a lot of heat on him to get him out of there?
He's got to bob and weave to get close to him and punch, you know, but you don't try and take a veteran out with one punch like that. You wear him right down, then take him out of there.
Darnell Wilson, the Ding-a-ling Man, leaves his chin completely unprotected, and a good left counter again by Dennis McKinney.
It's a good left hook by McKinney, and it stopped Darnell in his tracks momentarily.
Of course, McKinney's been the distance many times. We should note this fight is scheduled for just 6 rounds. Probably the distance that was approved by the Ding-a-ling Man.
Well, they're giving him the right fights, you know. A 6-round fight is what he's really entitled to for his future. But the other guy's got absolutely. The other guy's an experienced guy up there, and he's got the right style of beat, even though he's been on the floor. You know,
I mean, he's throwing those punches from the canvas there. The Ding-a-ling Man gets tagged by a right hand that time. You see, Lou, that McKinney would probably prefer to counter punch, and he's a good counter puncher. The Ding-a-ling Man needs to be careful.
He has got hit with some of those counters here in the first round.
He hit him at short left hook.
He ducked the left hand there by McKinney and scores with the lead right. Third round, number 1 for the Ding-a-ling Man, Darnell Wilson. Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Budweiser. As the Ding-a-ling Man, Darnell Wilson, put Dennis McKinney down with a right hand. Wow, right on the button.
That was a good shot.
Hey, punches like that can knock anybody down, you know.
But McKinney really covered well and fought back well.
That's right. Right. Again, style. He's going on his experience now. That is what Ding-a-ling is fighting tonight, an experience.
Larry Michael with Lou Duva and Jon Saraceno. This is Ballroom Boxing. Want to welcome those listening on WJFK. Great to have you with us for Ballroom Boxing as always.
Lou, how do you get a fighter who's a power puncher not to fall in love with that power where he becomes a headhunter? I mean, how do you drill it in him that you got to really box your way in and not look for the knockout?
You got to talk to him. You got to make sure in the gym you start making them come forward. See, he's throwing a haymaker there, but he's not moving his feet in. He's not getting close to the guy. So he's giving the guy room.
He's winging.
That's right. With an experienced guy like McKinney out there, and he can rock and roll with those punches there and slip him.
And then counter.
Just a 6-round fight, though, so McKinney would probably be better off. It was a long fight, Dingling man.
That's right, but Dingling should be keeping on top of it. It's only a 6-round fight.
Dingling misses a left hand. McKinney dances away. McKinney in the red, white, and blue trunks. Dingling man in the black trunks, as always. Wilson, the Dingling man, has his hands held low, misses a left hand. Actually scores with a forearm to the head of McKinney. Oh, good block by a left hand by McKinney. Body shot by the Dingling man. Dingling man certainly the aggressor so far, trying to move forward.
Lou, in your opinion, does Darnell Wilson know how to fight on the inside? It almost looks like he uses the distance as a defense.
Look at his feet. Don't look at his hands. Look at his feet. He should be moving in and bobbing and weaving and getting close to him and then punching.
Dennis McKinney doing very little offensively. Darnell Wilson moves to the center of the ring and throws a looping left hook, glancing blow.
I mean, with his punching power, he gets close to him. He missed 2 and hit him on the chin with the third one.
Right.
Maybe knock him out.
McKinney misses with the jab. Double jab by McKinney, blocked by the Dingling man. But you're right, if Darnell Wilson is ever going to move ahead, he needs fights like this to test him.
Absolutely, and I'll tell you something. If I managed Dingling right now, after this here fight, I'd bring him both guys right back into the gym and hire him as a sparring partner to teach him how to fight.
There you go. Left-right combination by Darnell Wilson, blocked by McKinney.
Also, where's the jab? No jabs from Darnell Wilson. Just power left hooks. I mean, that's a tapping jab. Lead right hand.
Big left hand. McKinney walked right into it. Dennis McKinney hurt his right shoulder. He hurt his right shoulder. I think it popped out on him. And the doctor is going to have to come up and take a look at him. I did not see how that happened. But that left hook that the Dingling man scored, the right hand counter, they might have just locked arms and see if McKinney is okay to continue. It's been that kind of night in the ballroom. McKinney says he's okay. Doctor on the ring apron talking to Dennis McKinney. Will he let him continue?
Well, he's giving him every opportunity, you know.
Could have just pinched the nerve or something there, Lou. You never know. McKinney, the veteran, wants to continue, and here we go. Darnell Wilson really not jabbing at all. He really didn't have a jab, John. He just got the strong hooks. Power shots is all he throws.
But on one night, he's going to need the full arsenal, right, Lou? He's not going to be able to just wing and get by.
Absolutely.
Big right hand and a big left hand. And McKinney is hurt in the closing seconds of the second round. He is holding on. Big combination. And down he goes right at the bell. And Bill Holmes, the referee, is going to count him. McKinney to a knee. Can he get up? I think he is going to get up. He does.
Beats the count at 9.
Boy, you cannot teach power, can you?
No, he's got natural punching power, doesn't he?
Absolutely, but you see what he did? He got close. Take a look at the replay. You'll see him get close in front. If he did that right away, he would have knocked him out in 1 or 2 rounds.
We're going to keep this right here because I believe Dennis McKinney's right shoulder is giving him problems. I'm questioning whether he will come out for round 3.
Well, for his own good, his corner may need to stop the fight if the Maryland Commission doesn't.
Certainly, everybody loves the action here in the ballroom, don't they, Lou Duva?
Absolutely, all the action. I agree.
And the fights are pretty good, too.
Yeah, the fighters are real good.
Now, question is, will Dennis McKinney be able to continue? That's the big question. The doctor, they're working him out.
He wants to. McKinney doesn't want to quit. He wants to fight, I think. I think they're going to let him continue.
They're going to let him go. I mean, if that round had gone 30 more seconds, I don't think he would have been able to continue because of the pummeling he was receiving from the Dingling man.
Wow, you're going to have a one-arm fighter possibly.
If he gets close to him and starts punching, he should knock him out this round.
Let's see if McKinney can use that right hand or right arm or shoulder.
Wrong guy to be in against if you only have one wing.
Also, that's the side where his left hook is too, boy. I tell you what, if he can't defend himself properly, McKinney wants to give it a go, but Wilson knows he's hurt.
McKinney's a brave guy, I got to be honest with you. After the shots that he took, Duva, at the end of round 2, he's back with the bad arm.
He's a veteran. Hey, that's how you learn. That's how you get your experience with guys like that.
You've seen other journeymen get hit a lot less and quit in a fight. I mean, he easily could have gotten out of this fight if he wanted to.
Absolutely. He's a real veteran. And let me tell you, he's in there to fight. He's in there to win.
Uppercut by Darnell Wilson. Haven't seen an uppercut from him in this fight. Just the wide looping punches from the Dingling man looking to ring the dome of Dennis McKinney.
You know what? That shoulder's bothering him. Yeah. He's fighting with one arm.
Yep.
Bill Holmes taking a look at this.
This is all guts by McKinney here. Look at it. He's just trying to dance away. He can't even hold him. He's only got one arm.
He's here to earn his money, that's for sure.
To me, if I'm his corner, wow, he nailed.
Oh, and a big overhand right by the Dingling man after being stunned by Dennis McKinney. And the Dingling man was stunned by that right hand by McKinney.
You know what? His corner should stop this fight because their man can't defend himself. And that's a good stoppage by referee Bill Holmes.
Absolutely, absolutely. The referee did a good job.
Well, action fight as always.
But let me tell you something. Dingling was staggering with that from that right hand shot.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, you got to give him even. I mean, this guy came to fight. I mean, McKinney, you know, he's a veteran.
Heart.
He's a veteran, and he's got a lot of heart. But he can also get hurt like that, too.
Yeah, no question. There he goes. That was the end. Let's make it official with Pat O'Malley.
He's fighting a fight.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. The winner by TKO at 135 of round 3, Darnell, the Dingling Man Wilson.
The Dingling man, Darnell Wilson, victorious in the ballroom tonight. Lou, how far can this kid go? I mean, he is very raw. I guess too early to really tell.
No, I think he can go all the way. I mean, he's a puncher. If they would only teach him now to move his feet in, bob and weave a little more, you've got a great, great fighter on your hand. This guy can take you out with either hand.
I want to thank the great Lou Duva for being with us ringside. Always a pleasure having you next to us, sir.
Thank you.
All right, back with the interview with the Dingling man in a moment. You're watching Ballroom Boxing. Welcome back to the Ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. We just witnessed another victory for the Dingling man, Darnell Wilson. Before we hear from him, let's take a look at how this fight ended. And Johnny, he was stunned by the right hand, but he came right back. And I mean, that right hand right there just rattled the skull of McKinney.
Wilson just teeing off because he knew that McKinney was defenseless. And so he did the right thing. He came in two-fisted. But there's going to come a night when Darnell Wilson's going to have to be sharper with his skills. Tonight, he didn't have to be that kind of a fighter. He used his power just to overwhelm the veteran journeyman.
Darnell Wilson runs his record to 8-1-1, all 8 wins by knockout, and the winner is standing by with Jon Scheinman.
Darnell, considering that Dennis McKinney hurt his shoulder in the fight, is this still a satisfactory victory for you?
Oh, it absolutely is a satisfactory victory, you know, because I knocked him down before the shoulder injury occurred. You know, and it's actually a great satisfaction in 2 ways. For one, you know, he's the owner of an IBC Intercontinental Light Heavyweight title, which was not on the line, but I see myself as a champ now. But also, you know, he's been in there with world-class opposition, and those guys that he faced weren't able to get him out of there or knock him down. So it's a big victory for me.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Here's a guy who's fought 40 fights. He's only been stopped 3 times. Very tough. What does this teach you about yourself to demolish a guy like that?
I mean, after like sparring with big heavyweights, and I've been actually putting heavyweights out in sparring, you know, with the big gloves on, and by knocking this guy out, knowing what he's been through and being able to overcome, it just does a whole lot for me.
Any concern going in against a guy with that kind of experience, known as a very smart boxer?
It was, but that just gave me more motivation and training to come here and be on point, have that good tunnel vision. You know, great coach Charles Mooney, Thomas Mason, Hershey over here. I don't know, we going to the top.
Darnell Wilson in the finest performance of his career, continuing to climb the ladder. Let's go back to ringside to Larry and John.
Boy, Jon Scheinman, extraordinarily bubbly, Mr. Saraceno.
Wow, he is high on that prospect, and I like Darnell Wilson as a fighter and as a person, giving the props to his corner too. Good man.
Good personality, and you know what? Making punch. And he will be back in the ballroom, I am sure. We'll be back with more ballroom boxing ourselves in just a moment. With us now in the ballroom, one of the big stars behind the scenes in boxing, Lou Dibella, who is the advisor to many, many world-ranked fighters. And specifically tonight, Clarence Vinson is your man. And we talked in the open, Lou, that, you know, if you're an Olympic medalist, each win causes the pressure to build. A guy like Clarence Vinson really can't afford to lose, can he?
Not when you're making the money he's making. No, you can't afford to lose. For a 118-pound kid to be doing as well as Clarence is doing financially, he's got to keep winning. See, the pressure is on. And when you weigh 118 pounds, you're not going to have that much of a protected record because it's not so easy to line up a series of easy fights. So what you're looking at, for example, tonight is he's fighting a 6'2" kid named Jason Adams, the Troll, from Canada, the Troll, who had a great amateur record, fought 70 amateur fights, was a world-ranked amateur, and has a decent pedigree of his own. Every fight Clarence has now is going to have to be a step-up. And frankly, after tonight, the step-up is going to get even quicker. So it's important that he progresses, that he learns, and it's important that tonight's opponent be a little bit more difficult than the last one.
Lou, we met in your days at HBO, and of course you are the new breed of boxing advisor. What makes you this new breed? What do you do differently for your fighters that some of the other promoters slash advisors slash hangers on? You know, it's a business right now where I think you are a breath of fresh air. What makes you so different?
You know, I'm on the promotional side of the table, but I do have a duty to the fighters I work with. And a promoter usually just has a contractual duty. My duty is to try to maximize the kid's money. I work on a percentage basis. Everything's open book. And my fighters sit down at the table with the ESPN, with HBO, with Showtime. They know how much money's in the pot. They know what I'm making. They know what they're making. It's a little bit different. I'm really not adverse to getting licensed as a promoter if I could figure out how to be licensed as a promoter and do it within the rules. Actually, I sort of think the only guys right now who are real promoters are guys like the guys doing this show tonight.
Right.
The Wagners that aren't out there with exclusive contracts with fighters, that are out there simply putting on an event, creating a boxing show, negotiating with fighters that they don't have under contract. That's the old way. That's the way it was meant to be historically.
Right.
But to be honest, almost all the promoters today are really almost functioning in the position of managers. They're negotiating with the money, with the television networks, with the casinos. The promoter's no longer the money, the TV network's the money. And the laws never really changed to reflect that. So I'm just trying to create a new way of doing things that's more accurately reflective of the world we work in.
We're going to see Clarence Vinson in the ring here in just a few moments, and this is the second time for Clarence. Lives close by in Washington, D.C., pretty easy trip for him. But what do you like most about this venue, Lou Dibella?
What I like about this venue is often when a kid is fighting on a club show, off of major television, there's no vibe in the room. There's no energy in the room. There's no excitement. This venue provides that. And my kids, Clarence, not the only one who's fought here, Yuri Foreman, and I've had others who fought here, they love to come back here because it's a great crowd. They get a chance to be seen. It's televised.
Right,
this is a wonderful outlet for young fighters, for up-and-coming fighters. And I look forward to having my kids on these ballroom boxing cards as long as they keep going on.
Well, we appreciate having Lou Dibella in the house tonight. Thanks, Lou.
My pleasure, Larry.
Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Time now for our main event. The Olympian Clarence Vinson taking on the Canadian Jason Adams. Earlier tonight, Jon Scheinman talked to Clarence Vinson about the unusual man, the troll, Jason Adams.
Clarence, Jason Adams, your opponent tonight, I haven't seen him fight, but he has a reputation of being extremely flamboyant, colorful hair. His nickname is the Troll. I heard he comes in with almost like a Camacho-like entry. It remains to be seen. But from your perspective, what is it like to fight a guy who's trying to upstage you even before the fight begins?
Well, I'm not worried about that, you know. I just train hard for this particular bout, and I'm just ready for whatever.
Have you fought people like that who try to get into your head before the bouts? Well, you know, what was the strangest opponent you ever faced?
Well, actually, my last fight against Alvaro, you know.
I was here at the Ballroom, right?
Yeah, and actually, you know, he did a little things, you know, to try to get under my skin. But this is boxing, you know. You can do what you want to do outside of the ring, but once you get in, you know, your fist got to do your talk for you.
Earlier, as we went to the piece of tape with Jon Scheinman and Clarence Vinson, you saw the heavyweight champion, former heavyweight champion Riddick Bowe, who's looking pretty good, John.
I was afraid he wanted to make his comeback against me.
Well, anyway, Clarence Vinson has a lot on the line here tonight. The Olympic medalist is in the ballroom for the second time. We'll be back after a short timeout. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Now let's go to Pat O'Malley for the introduction of the fighters.
The Maryland State Athletic Commission Chairman Carl N. Milligan Jr., Executive Director Patrick Bonello, and commissioners at ringside, Phil Feaster and Bill McCaffrey, along with Ballroom Boxing promoter Scott Wagner, matchmakers Chris Middendorf and Josh Hall, present this 8-round bout in the junior featherweight division. The physicians at ringside are Dr. Douglas Frankel and Dr. Edmund McDonald Jr. The Athletic Commission Counsel is Bruce C. Spizzler. The timekeeper for the bout is Tommy Canaris. And judging the bout, Gary Campaneschi, Kenny Chevalier, and Bill Holmes. Your scorekeeper is John Gradowski. And the man in charge when the main event begins is Malik Waleed, your referee. Now let's meet the Warriors. First to my right, out of the blue corner, wearing the solid black trunks, weighing 118.25 pounds. He is from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, with a record of 6-2-1, 5 via the KO. Please welcome Jason the Troll Adams. To my left, out of the red corner, wearing the black, red, and white trunks. He weighed in at 121.25 pounds. From the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., with a professional record of 7-0, 4 via the KO. A bronze medalist in the 2000 Summer Olympics. Please welcome Clarence, the untouchable Vinson.
Clarence Vinson with a big crowd supporting him. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first, Jon Saraceno, take a look at this matchup. Vinson, the Olympian, against the Troll.
Well, both these guys small, obviously. Clarence Vinson weighing in 121.25. Jason Adams only 118.25. A little bit of a size advantage and a reach advantage for Clarence Vinson.
The Troll has won 4 straight, all by knockout. Clarence Vinson unbeaten, 7-0, 4 wins by knockout. This fight is scheduled for 8 rounds tonight. This is our main event. And as always, Ballroom Boxing brought to you by Budweiser and by Toyota. And you know, if you really love the Ballroom Boxing action, log on ballroomboxing.com, ballroomboxing.com, and check out the best of Ballroom Boxing videos available for your viewing pleasure. This fight is underway. Troll coming right to you. Troll has, isn't a Troll one of those things with that hair coming out the top?
Don't you remember those things
Yeah,
from the
sure.
60s? Yeah.
So is that what he's the Troll? Here he is.
He looks very Troll-like, but right now, I tell you what, he's giving Clarence Vinson no punching room at all, glued right to his chest.
Coming right to the grill of Clarence Vinson. He looks very, very calm right now. Vinson is so cool, so schooled. But the Troll might be his toughest opponent to date.
Interesting styles matchup, Larry. Really is.
Big overhand right by Clarence. Giving a little smile to the Troll. Maybe he's amused by the hairstyle of the Troll.
Tell you what, the Troll looks like he's going to do whatever it takes. There's a lot of little dirty tactics going on the inside
Let's listen. We can hear the crowd here in support of Clarence Vinson. Where are these kids from, John?
Well, thanks to Clarence Vinson, who grew up in a Washington project and kind of hung out at the Carver Terrace Rec Center. He's bussed 100 kids in for tonight, 2 busfuls, along with promoter Scott Wagner and his own promoter, Lou Dibella, to give these kids a chance to see what live boxing is all about. And these kids look up to Clarence Vinson. They're here with their signs. They're all excited, jumping up and down.
Control with the red and blue hairdo. And Clarence Vinson is certainly the crowd favorite here for this fight. Pretty good fight so far. Vinson needing to turn the tide now with the jab. The Troll staying away. The Troll felt the power of Vinson earlier midway through this round, and his offensive assault has been curtailed. Jab from the Troll. See the Troll bringing his head, elbows. He's just bringing everything to Clarence Vinson.
He's also hitting Clarence Vinson along the hips and the legs to try and slow him down a little bit. Very tricky little fighter, the Troll. Let's see if he can sustain it.
Straight right by Clarence. Body shot by the Troll. We should tell you the Troll's name is Jason Adams, I guess. Both men dressed in black trunks. The sequins belong to Clarence Vinson with a white trim. Whistling left hook over the head of the Troll.
And you see the terrific hand speed of Clarence Vinson.
Quick overhand right, short left hand. The Troll keeps coming, trying to bring some heat.
Well, he's trying to muscle Clarence Vinson. He's having some success doing that. But Vinson trying to set down his punches a little bit better here near the end of the first round.
Jab by Vinson, trying to follow with the overhand right. It's blocked partially by the Troll. Jason Adams, the Troll, ties up Clarence Vinson here in the closing moments of round 1.
Malik Walid is going to be a very busy referee here tonight.
Clarence Vinson is so quick. Lands a combination that moves up. The end of the first round here in the ballroom. Let's look at the corner of Clarence Vinson complaining over his left eye of a headbutt. There is no cut there, but I think it got his attention. Johnny's a little worried about what might be over his left eye, and as you can see, really no damage there.
Well, with a young fighter, anytime you have an injury or some kind of a cut, he's got to learn to deal with it.
One of Jason Adams' losses came against unbeaten Canadian bantamweight champion Steve Molitor, who was 11-0. So this is a stiff test for the Olympian Clarence Vinson. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. And you see there the Troll just manhandling Clarence Vinson.
But you know what? That's how you got to fight Clarence Vinson. You can't let him get into a groove with his boxing skills. You got to try to muscle him on the inside. And Adams is willing to go in there and take chances to try to rough him up. Clarence Vinson knows he's in a fight here, Larry. Make no mistake about that.
Well, this is an 8-round junior featherweight battle. Good ripping body shot, partially blocked by the Troll, Jason Adams. Vinson moving forward, overhand right, scores by Clarence Vinson.
Well, Vinson's used that right hand very successfully in the opening 2 rounds here. Has nailed Adams several times. Adams wants to turn this into a dirty brawl. He really does.
He does. Nice uppercut by Vinson with the left hand. The Troll on the outside just sits there and takes it. Little jab by Jason Adams, overhand right by Vinson.
And notice how Adams is not allowing Vinson to get into a groove, into any kind of a rhythm. He keeps charging in, using his lateral movement, darting in and out.
Trying to make a little ugly fight, John, really.
Yeah.
See, he's elbow on the inside by Jason Adams, and Vinson backs away.
He's holding Vinson and chopping him with the right hand.
Nice straight right hand by Clarence Vinson, scores. That's some blood from the mouth of Jason Adams now. Clarence Vinson has Adams in a headlock. And Malik Walid warns Vinson for that. Leaping body shot by Jason Adams, scores with a right hand. Clarence Vinson ducks away. Quick right hand by Vinson. He is so quick. Left right combination by Vinson. Another left right combination by the Olympian.
Vinson's got to remember to move his head, though. Keep moving that head. Wow, he is incredibly quick with his feet.
Slipping his punches beautifully. Jason Adams just swinging at air.
Well, Lou Duva's sitting with us here, and he had a fighter at one time, lightweight champion Pernell Whitaker, who also had very good defensive skills, but I don't even think Pernell's feet move that quick. As slick as he was defensively, Georgie Benton taught him a lot of those slick moves on the inside.
Good body work by Jason Adams, and Clarence Vinson spins him around and reloads. Overhand right by Clarence Vinson scores, and a left hand scores.
Well, I tell you what.
Really opening up with body shots, Clarence Vinson.
And Adams has got to get that left hand up. He's getting clipped with those right hands by Vinson.
Beautiful right hand on the uppercut by Clarence Vinson. Man, this man is talented.
Oh, that was a dirty move by Adams. You know what? Heck, Adams has got to get a warning there or have a point deducted. I mean, he shoved an elbow right into Clarence Vinson's face and knocked him over.
A body shot by Jason Adams and Clarence Vinson, and Adams go face to face as round 2 comes to a close here in the ballroom. Let's take a look back at what went down in round 2.
Well, you see
that tackle.
Yeah, he's bull rushing him and charged him and gloved him in the face and then knocked him down illegally. Could have had a point deducted there, Larry.
Could have. Malik Waleed did not deduct a point or even make a warning to the troll, Jason Adams.
Probably shouldn't have deducted a point, but at least a warning. I would like to have seen a warning there. Vinson's got to be careful here not to fight Adams' style. So he's back on his P's and Q's, boxing this round. The problem is Adams, the way he rushes in, he almost forces you to defend yourself, and you end up getting into kind of a dirty slugfest, which is not Vinson's kind of fight to win.
It's a good test for Clarence Vinson, however, young fighter that he is.
Adams, very awkward guy to fight.
We're in the 3rd round here. This fight is scheduled for 8. Body shot by Adams. Vinson trying to hold him.
Vinson's got to get that jab moving. He's not using the left hand enough.
There might be a cut. I think there is a cut over the right eye of Jason Adams. It looks more like a scrape than a cut that's going to cause him any problems. Vinson misses the left hand. Adams misses the right. So again, Adams just bull rushing Vinson up against the ropes, not scoring any punches. Trying to take the offensive lead in this fight. Ripping body shot by Clarence Vinson, and that hurt Adams.
Wow,
He bent at the waist. He is still hurt.
Looked like he almost broke his rib the way he cringed in pain.
It was a left hook to the body, and now Adams is on his bicycle. Left hook to the head by Vinson now.
Adams trying to protect that left side.
Overhand right by Clarence Vinson. Adams now on the defensive, looking to hold on. Another body shot by Clarence Vinson, the Olympian.
And Vinson knew right where the attack with the right hand downstairs, and again, Adams trying to cover up.
Oh, another body shot with the left hand by Clarence. The body shot by Vinson. He's really working the body nicely. Left hook to the head by Vinson.
Well, Vinson was landing a lot of right hands early in the fight. Now he's coming back with the left hook and going downstairs. Adams starting to wear down here a little bit in the 3rd round.
Adams continues to move forward. Got a lot of guts. Overhand right. Lancing blow by Clarence Vinson. Right-left combination by Adams. Blocked nicely by the Olympian.
Vinson's very good at rolling with punches and parrying and coming back with his own. Very slick fighter. You can see why this guy was a medalist at the Olympics.
Vinson kind of stalking the troll right now. Malik Waleed warning Clarence Vinson on the hole. Body shot with a right hand by Vinson.
He went right back to that spot that was tender.
Poor Johnny's done some unbelievable body work in this round. Kind of a slapping right hand that time.
And see how Vinson uses his shoulders on the inside to his advantage.
And Vinson just, that left hand to the body is devastating the troll right now. Big left hook by Clarence Vinson. The troll keeps coming. End of a very, very exciting round 2. Clarence Vinson looking strong. Round 3, back with more ballroom boxing in a moment. Let's take a look at the left hand of the body. Watch the left hand of Clarence Vinson coming up. Watch it right here. It's the right and the left. Troll really felt those body shots.
That was Clarence Vinson's best round. I've got him winning 30-27 after 3.
Let's check in with our colleague Jon Scheinman for his scorecard through 3. John.
Well, Larry, on my unofficial card, I have Vinson ahead also, but 30-20. Oh.
No, he slipped.
Oh,
Go
okay.
ahead.
I have him ahead 30-26. I gave Vinson a 10-8 round in that last round. Absolute utter dominance with the body work. He's just outclassing a very game Jason Adams at this point.
Gotta agree with you, Mr. Scheinman. Good performance so far by Clarence Vinson. Really pounding away to the body.
Well, he's setting down on those punches. He's really digging with that double left hook. and then coming back with the right hand to the body. Right now, really a textbook fight by Clarence Vinson. Combination punching and defensively.
Jason Adams right now doing the best he can to defend himself. Doing nothing offensively.
Well, what happened was those body shots, Larry, in that third round took a lot out of Adams. I don't know if he's going to get it back. Took a lot of starch out of him.
There's Vinson on his toes. Oh, look at that punch. He eats the right-left combination from the Troll, however. Stayed there a little too long.
Adams not nearly as game as he was the first 2.5 rounds when he was attacking Vinson all over him like flypaper.
These moves right here, you mentioned Pernell Whitaker. A little face out with his hands at his side. That is classic Pernell Whitaker. Got to give credit to Jason Adams, the Troll from Edmonton, Canada, continuing to move forward, and now he's bringing on some offense. So Clarence Vinson just ducks away from those punches. Backing up Vinson, loading up with the right hand. The left hand is Vinson's power shot.
He just keeps digging to the body with that left hook, and it's just taking a lot of the energy. Good right hand by Vinson. Out of Adams.
Adams doing the best he can to protect his body, which leaves his head wide open. Body shot by Adams. Again, the right hand by Adams. Good body shot by Vinson.
Well, Adams is feigning as if it was a low shot, and Vinson just keeps digging away.
And Adams blocking a lot of these shots on his forearms and elbows. Those arms are going to be very sore tomorrow.
Vinson, a very well-schooled fighter.
I tell you, Adams just has a stone chin. Body shot by Adams. Now they come into a clinch for the first time in this fight. Vinson, a little punch on the inside as they tie up.
I'll tell you what, this is really a pleasure and an honor to watch somebody of Clarence Vinson's caliber to fight here at the Ballroom Boxing Series. I mean, this guy is a world-class fighter. Make no mistake.
Little shuffle by the Olympian Clarence Vinson as the round comes to a close. More Ballroom Boxing in a moment. Round 5 underway. Ballroom Boxing is always brought to you by Budweiser, as well as Toyota, and by Michael's 8th Avenue, a host of grand occasions. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno. Great to be with you for Ballroom Boxing tonight. More information on Ballroom Boxing, and check out the Best of Ballroom Boxing series. Log on ballroomboxing.com.
Break clean, break clean, break
In the ring right now, we're seeing a beautiful performance by the Olympian Clarence Vinson, the black trunks with a white trim. Got to give credit to Jason Adams, the Troll, as well, making it a fight.
He certainly is. I was just wondering, do you think Jason Adams is a Billy Idol fan?
Okay, break out, break
Hard
out.
to tell.
Watch your head,
Hard to tell?
Hard to tell.
I tell you what, he's or maybe Eminem.
Maybe. Billy Idol, John, way before this guy's time, okay?
I'm talking about the aura. Yeah, the aura he presents.
You're dating yourself. All right.
You're right, I am.
Nice straight right by Clarence Vinson, the Troll. Jason Adams coming right back as Vinson up against the ropes. Scores with a right hand.
Now, Vinson doesn't need to be on the ropes right now. He needs to be boxing in the center of the ring.
Vinson goes back to the center of the ring, as you mentioned. Body work by Vinson has really chalked up some points. I gotta believe he's leading on the cards. John Scheinman quickly through 4. What's your score?
40-35, Larry. But I'll tell you something. I think in the last round, Clarence Vinson sold Jason Adams a little short when he started the showboating. And Adams still has a little bit left here.
Well, I guess he would sell him short if he's called the Troll.
Oh, just a brutal body shot. Bends the Troll over. The Troll in deep trouble.
And Vinson's corner telling him, come on, give him more. Wow. What a terrific body puncher Clarence Vinson is. Pound for pound, he's wicked.
He really is wicked. You can feel those shots at ringside.
Keep him up, keep him up.
I mean, he's trying to block those with his elbows as best he can, but he can't block them all.
Well, he's going to drop those hands, and Vinson's going to come upstairs with that left hook. Terrific combination puncher, too, Clarence Vinson.
Well, he's feeling a rhythm here, isn't he, John?
He's totally in a groove. Early on in the fight, Adams had him out of that rhythm. He really couldn't find that rhythm until about near the end of the second round, and then midway through the third round, he really picked it up. He's dominated the last 3 rounds.
Oh, another ripping body shot.
No. Come on, man. Keep it clean. Let's go.
Well, he thought that shot might have been a little bit low.
Well, I think Clarence Vinson's fought a very clean fight. The Canadian's the guy who's trying to use the dirty house, rough house tactics.
Clarence Vinson bullied up against the ropes by the Troll. And Malik Waleed steps in again.
Adams really taking a pounding, really starting to suck wind through that mouthpiece. But I tell you what, he's game.
Round 5 coming to a close here in the ballroom. Clarence Vinson, the Olympian, looking mighty fine tonight. Welcome back to the ballroom. Larry Michael with Jon Saraceno, Clarence Vinson, and Jason Adams through 5 rounds. Vinson, I got a body shot right there. Look at the face. Can you catch it? You can see the pain etched on the face of the Troll.
Well, the Troll's doing something really stupid here, and he's acting like a troll. And I tell you what, he's showboating against a guy in the other guy's backyard. And Clarence Vinson's going to make him pay at some point.
Pretty soon we could say, for whom the bell trolls.
I like it. Very good.
I was saving that, John.
I like that.
Break, fellas. Come on.
I'll tell you what, John, look on the neck of the Troll. You see some of the blue dye dripping down the back of his neck. This was a temporary dye job, okay?
I was in a bad one. I was about to say Clarence Vinson has just about knocked the dye right out of his hair. He's hit him so hard with sharp combination punches. And his whole body, I mean, his whole body's been a target.
Headbutt there. Clarence Vinson didn't like that again, as the Troll came in head first.
He's doing it again.
Body shot by Jason Adams.
Well, these Canadian guys are tough guys.
Vinson using that good head movement, just pushes him down. That was a shove by Clarence Vinson. No complaint from the corner of the Olympian on that one.
The forearm shiver. You can't blame Clarence Vinson for getting a little, out of sorts here at sometimes in the fight. He did early in the fight. He was kind of fighting Adams' fight, but he settled down and has taken control from the third round on. We have him way ahead in our scorecards. Adams looks like he's going to need a knockout.
Hey, you spear with your head. Let's go.
And a warning from referee Waleed telling Adams you're using your head as a spear. I think he should deduct a point by now. I mean, the guy's been warned several times, fighting a very dirty fight. You can hurt a guy like Clarence Vinson. I mean, what if he butts him?
Big left hand there by the Troll scores. Clarence Vinson dropped his right for a moment, gets tagged.
Troll's got fast hands.
Really does, not a bad fighter. This is a tough test for Clarence Vinson. They threw that punch from Washington, D.C., which is about 30 miles south of where we're at right now.
And it never landed.
Troll moving, continuing to move. Don't forget this fight scheduled for 8 rounds, as the Olympian Clarence Vinson hopes to remain unbeaten.
No punching, no punching. Okay.
You can hear the referee warning. I think he's really warning Adams there. Don't punch when I'm going to separate you.
Nice overhand right by Clarence Vinson. The Troll shakes it off. Another overhand right by the Olympian. Body shot by Vinson with a left hand. And Jason Adams has a lot of blood coming from his mouth right now. Mouth and nose as round 6 comes to a close.
Another big round for Clarence Vinson.
Adams continues to bully him around the ring. The referee has to step in as round 6 comes to a close. Another good round for the Olympian Clarence Vinson. Welcome back to Ballroom Boxing. Action from round 6. This is the left hand by the Troll, the best punch of the fight for Jason Adams, known affectionately as the Troll.
And back in his neighborhood, Washington, D.C., the kids call Clarence Vinson Adam Ant.
Also on the trunks of Clarence Vinson, you see the nickname Untouchable.
Well, he just about is, isn't he?
John Scheinman, quick look at your scorecard through 6, buddy.
Well, it's clearly a shutout. Clarence Vinson's ahead unofficially on my card, 60-53. But I'll tell you something, watching this fight, you wonder what Jason Adams' management has matched him so tough for. This kid's got a lot of talent and a bright future, and he's been put in over his head.
All right, blow shot there by Clarence Vinson, warned by Malik Waleed. And Clarence Vinson gets pushed down for the back of the head by the Troll.
Well, at this stage, I'll tell you, to answer John's question, I don't know what the Troll has to lose. I mean, he's got some losses on his record. If he could have somehow pulled off some kind of an upset, then he could make a name for himself and really vault himself somewhere, you know, in terms of exposure. So
more good body shots by Vinson. Has the Troll up against the ropes, pounding away with the left and right. Right hand by Vinson. The Troll chased across the other side of the ring. Now to the center, body shot by Clarence Vinson. A left hand to the body by Vinson. The Troll in some deep trouble here.
I think Vinson's going to stop this guy. It looks like he's going to, but I tell you what, Adams is so tough. He refuses to give in. I mean, a lot of guys from those wicked body shots, they would have been done by now.
Clarence Vinson trying to sucker him in, holding his hands low. Left-right combination by Vinson as the Troll is up against the ropes, and he leads with his head.
Here's what I'd be worried about right now if I'm Clarence Vinson's manager and trainer, that this guy, Adams, is going to do something stupid, headbutt my fighter, get my fighter hurt with some kind of illegal tactic.
I'd be worried too. I think that's a good point, John, because he's been roughing Vinson up inside with the elbows and head. Body shot with the right hand by Clarence Vinson.
I mean, Adams, very dirty fighter. I think if he had more energy, he would try something like that.
Oh, another clash of heads. This time Adams gets the worst of that exchange. Body shot by Vinson, and again, the Troll leads with his head. Malik Waleed stops the action to fix the tape on the left glove of the Troll, Jason Adams.
I would like to see the referee take a point away from Adams for using that head. I think he's done it too much. You got to protect the other fighter, Clarence Vinson, in there from something stupid.
Got to hold the other man responsible. Right hand by Vinson with a quick flurry.
Getting a little late. Oh, the bolo punch. Right. The bolo punch, and now Vinson showing off a little bit.
Vinson wanting to showboat a little bit with the Ali shuffle, and why not? He's dominated this fight through 7 rounds tonight. Clarence Vinson cruising along through 7. We'll be back. Look at the corner of Jason Adams. He is in some deep trouble. He's in a lot of pain right now, Jon Saraceno.
Well, it's all that body work, the terrific body punching by Clarence Vinson. He really turned up the wick in the 3rd round. He has been just attacking his ribs. I don't know what is holding Adams up. Sheer guts.
Looking back at action from round 7 as we get set to enter the 8th and final round. Clarence Vinson. Oh, that was an overhand right, and if he had had his punch solid, kind of hit him with the back of his fist. Could have been a knockout blow. Adrian Davis, the trainer. Clarence Vinson pumping his man up for the 8th and final round. Quick look at John Scheinman's scorecard through 7.
70-62, and if I'm referee Waleed, I take a very close look at stopping this here. No reason to give Jason Adams undue punishment. He's way behind in the scorecards, Larry.
Referee Malik Waleed stops the action because of some tape that has come loose on the glove of Jason Adams. So Waleed goes to the corner of Adams and asks the Troll's trainer for some scissors. A lot of blood from the nose and mouth of Jason Adams, the Troll right now. Clarence Vinson, 3 minutes away from his 8th win as a professional. Clarence Vinson on his toes. Jason Adams not doing a lot right now offensively. Vinson had his back turned to Adams for a moment there. Adams turns him around. Both men continue to dance around the ring. Now Adams dives in with the combination. Vinson spins him away. Once again, the referee warns Adams. And how many warnings do you get?
I guess he gets an infinite number.
A body shot by Clarence Vinson with the right hand stops the Troll in his tracks.
This is a moral victory for Adams, if nothing else, that he's still standing here in the 8th round.
But his body is going to ache big time tonight, John. It won't even be tomorrow. He'll drive home hurting tonight.
Maybe he should have chosen curling as a sport.
Maybe.
Very popular in Canada and a lot less dangerous, but I tell you what, he is really taken a lot. He's given some too. Clarence Vinson knows he's been in a fight.
Canada's had some pretty good professional boxers. George Zavala, done it a lot. over the years.
Well, Lennox Lewis, if he calls himself from Canada, Razor Ruddock.
Won the gold medal as a Canadian. Overhand right by Jason Adams, once again trying to bully Clarence Vinson against the ropes.
What's going through Clarence Vinson's mind? You know, if you refuse to be knocked out, a lot of times you can fight a fight and not get knocked out. And this kid refuses to be put away.
My God, he's taking some brutal body punishment, though, John. Vinson, another good body shot, stops the troll in his tracks.
He's got him backing up now, Larry. See if Vinson can try to end it right here.
Oh, big overhand right by Clarence Vinson. And the troll is wobbled. Well, Vinson has hit him with everything, John.
His corner wants him to come on and try and stop him, but Adams is going to finish this fight.
One more good body shot, he might go. There's a good body shot with the left hand. Adams' hands at his side. He is on empty. The tank is on empty. Big overhand right by Clarence Vinson. Rattles the skull of the troll. Another good body shot by Vinson.
He felt that one back in Vancouver.
Woo. The troll will survive. And Clarence Vinson appears headed toward his 8th win as a professional with no losses. Good performance by Clarence Vinson. And the troll took everything Vinson had to offer, and then some.
That wasn't a good performance. That was a sensational performance. That was a shutout.
Clarence Vinson showing why he is highly touted, showing why he won that Olympic medal. And he is a man that has a championship in his sights. I'd say about 12 to 18 months away, he might get a shot at a world championship. And if he fights like that, not many people can beat him, John.
No question. I mean, Clarence Vinson, you see he has all the tools to become a world champion. And he's got to keep focused. He's got to be dedicated to the sport. He's really raised himself up. He's a young father. He's only 23 years old. He has a 9-year-old daughter. He's had tragedy in his family, too. But Clarence Vinson has a lot of heart. As small as he is, 120 pounds, he fights like he's 220.
All right, when we come back, we'll have the decision in this battle, as well as an interview with the winner. The Ballroom Boxing returns. Ballroom Boxing is brought to you by Toyota, by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers. By Michael's 8th Avenue, a host of grand occasions. By BallroomBoxing.com for the latest in ballroom boxing action and upcoming live events and season tickets. All right, we're back in the ballroom. The folks behind us are the fans brought into town by Clarence Vinson. A very impressive performance by Vinson.
Well, and they're clearly happy. These kids busted into Maryland here. You know, good charitable move by the fighter. He grew up with a lot of in the same area, realizes how tough it is in Washington, D.C., and wow, what a cheering section.
Is there any doubt who they think won the fight?
No. I think Pat O'Malley will confirm it for us, too.
All right, let's find out from Pat.
Your attention, please. Ladies and gentlemen, before I announce the verdict, how about a fine round of applause for both boxers? We go to the scorecards. Judge Kenny Chevalier scores it 79-73. Judge Bill Holmes scores it 83-79. And Judge Gary Campaneschi scores it 80-72. The winner by unanimous decision, Clarence, the untouchable Vinson.
No surprise there, Clarence Vinson, untouchable, was just that tonight.
And they're chanting Adam.
Adam Ant, his nickname back home.
I'll tell you what, he's the toughest 120-pound Ant I've ever seen.
Tell you what, tough to squash that Ant. What a great performance by Clarence Vinson and Jon Saraceno. You look back, let's take a look at some of this action. Earlier in the fight, total domination, and if Jason Adams hadn't been so tough, it would have been gone much earlier.
Easily, the fight would have been over by about the 5th round, and you saw that left hand there. That was the reason why Vinson won the fight so handily.
Good performance by Clarence Vinson, who remains unbeaten. He is standing by with John Scheinman. John.
Clarence, what in the world was keeping Jason Adams up?
I don't know. He's a tough fighter. You know, I didn't see any tape on him, but he's a very gamed fighter. You know, he fight like a real pro. You know, he know how to use his upper body, all this in the fight when he get in the inside. So he made it a tough, dirty fight. But nevertheless, I came out on top. Like I told you, I train hard for all my fights. If I have to go the distance, so be it.
Body attack was the critical weapon for you throughout this bout. You really ripped him up, I think, from the third round on. Was that the game plan going in, or did you just adapt during the bout and see it open for you?
Like I told you, I never seen any tape on the guy. This time, this guy was about my height, so usually guys be taller than me, but this guy, he was about my height. So I just kept figuring him out. You know, sometimes I kept throwing punches over top, so I said, I better go downstairs, so that's what I did.
Adams was warned repeatedly throughout the bout for headbutts and spearing with his head, was what referee Malik Waleed called it. You looked concerned throughout the bout. Did that take you out of your style at all?
Well, I got a swelling over my eye in the beginning and the first round. Down the later round, he called me up top. You know, it was a little, you know, difficult, you know, fighting like that. But I've been through it before. Like I said, in my pro debut, I got head-butted and cut. So I learned how to deal with that.
You brought about 100 kids from your neighborhood in for this bout. They cheered and they were chanting for you throughout the bout. How did that feel for you?
Say that again, please.
You brought about 100 kids from your neighborhood up to Glen Burnie for this fight from down in Washington, D.C. How did it feel to fight in front of all them and hear them chanting for you out there?
Well, it felt great, you know, and most of all, I had my little daughter here. You know, she came to see me, my mother, my family, and all my old neighborhood came out, and I felt good, you know, in performing in front of them. You know, it was a pleasure. You know, it was like a dream come true.
Can we expect you to get right back in the ring, or what's planned for next?
I'm ready for whatever. Actually, July 20th, you know, I'm coming right back on HBO on the Vernon Force Shane Mosley undercard. So prepare to see me there.
Well, we like seeing you on HBO, but please come back to the ballroom. Clarence Vinson, spectacular performance tonight against the Troll. Jason Adams in the ballroom. Let's go back to ringside.
All right, thank you very much, Jon Scheinman, for a job well done tonight. And you know what? That's going to wrap it up for the season of Ballroom Boxing. Pretty good year in the books, Jon.
Partner, I had fun.
Wonderful job.
Clarence Vinson, a fighter like that makes you want to come back to the ballroom every time.
Sure does. A couple reminders, folks. For more information on Ballroom Boxing and check out the best of Ballroom Boxing, go to ballroomboxing.com. Also, we'll see you in the fall for Jon Saraceno and Jon Scheinman. I'm Larry Michael. We'll see you next time for Ballroom Boxing.